No, everything's going cool, man. Just hanging out. We're out on the Ozfest. We just got back from Europe. Now we just started doing the American leg, of everything at the Ozfest. So we just did Seattle the other day, and then we got San Fran tomorrow. So everything's good, man.
All right.
And we got beer. All right, so we're good to go. It was actually about this girl I used to date in high school. It was my first oral sex experience. It was quite the concrete jungle.
I'm not sure which part was the concrete.
No, it's just, I think I wrote about, like just hanging out in New York City because that's like my favorite place in the whole world. So, the whole freaks in the streets, the nuns with the shotguns. I mean, everything goes there, I mean, even with the intro. That's all the intro. It's all in F sharp, and it's actually tuned a whole step down. So which that means, kids at home. Basically, when you're tuned to 440, your E now it would be a D. So if you had a piano in front of you, instead of hitting an E note to tune your E, you'd hit a D note, tune your E string to that. Just to keep it simple. So everything's basically a whole step down. Just for vocals and everything like that. The strings are looser. I mean, and you get a thicker sound. So that's the reason why you keep everything, either a whole step down or whatever. But the guitar is basically still tuned the same. It's just octaves, and I'm just pedaling off the F sharp. All right, guys, it's just alternate picking, out the Miola and the whole 9 yards. So it's. All that is, it's just your F sharp pentatonic, your straight up pentatonic. With flat fives in there and chromatics, that's all it is. But it's all based off of that. Your normal pentatonic, that everybody knows. And all that is in the beginning, it's just, you can recreate it with the pedals I got here. These are all the Dunlop pedals that I use if you want to show them. It's just this is an MXR stereo chorus. I got the Wild Overdrive that Jimmy and Scott and all the boys built for me, and then the Eddie Van Halen Phase 90, the Jimmy Dunlop Rotor Vibe, and then the Wild Wad that the guys made for me. So just pick that up and you'll sound exactly like me. Just get a Les Paul and a Marshall and these pedals and some Munster cable and Jimmy's picks. You'll sound exactly like Zakk Wylde. So there you go. That's the actual riff for the verse. And I mean, otherwise, another variation of that if you want to. depends on, if you're one of those guys that's too lazy to go up and turn the channel on the TV, if you need the remote, if you're that much of a lazy bastard, if you don't want to go anywhere up the fretboard, it's all in the same, it's all in that same pentatonic. So, not just a flat 5 in there, so, But sometimes I'll do it just because on the A string it'll usually sound thicker. And then you got the pre-chorus. And just a diminished right there. Up to a C. In the studio, I took a Dan Electro, it's just like something I learned from Jimmy Page and stuff like that. When you listen to a lot of Jimmy's playing, it would be, just an army of guitars. You'd hear clean splashes coming in here. You got the dirty guitar, and a clean one would come in. I just had a rotor vibe, but I had a clean amp with like a Rowan jazz chorus and everything like that on that. And all it is just, so when, I'd hear the, and I would just stick in and let it hang over. Down, on, down, on, down, on, down, on, down. I love Jimmy Page. Down, on, down, on, down. So yeah. So, but yeah, that's what that is. It's just, I'd hit the B and the E. You know what I mean? So you get all that dissonant stuff going and everything like that. But otherwise live sometimes it's just. All right, here we go. We're going to do some jamming on Stillborn over here. Once again, it's another F sharp tunes. So this one here. No, we were just in the studio. I think we were. We were just listening to a bunch of Sabbath and Zeppelin and stuff like that on the way down to the studio or whatever. And I said, man, it'd be cool if we had something really basic, just like one, because we were listening to, I think, a lot of Love or could have been like Hole in the Sky with Sabbath or whatever, just, there's a whole bunch of tunes we were listening, on the way down there. We were going, man, this kicks it. And, just real basic, like I said, the beauty of some songs sometimes, it's just like there's really not a lot going on. It's just like the melody, you let the melody carry the song with the music, but the music is so, it's just, all it is just a foundation for the melody to go nuts, you know what I mean? So, anyways, when we got in the studio, just so that's, we just started jamming, the riff sounded cool, drinking beers, cranking in the headphones, so, that's how we ended up coming up with that one. And it's just like simple. There was no intro, there was no nothing. It just bap, just looks like it cut straight to, forget the appetizers. Let's just get straight to the, to the meat and potatoes, man. So, but yeah, but this one, it just, once again, we were talking about it earlier about the pinch harmonics and all that stuff. So it's, and the same thing as the songs before was a whole step down. If it's not a whole step, it's got to be a half step down. I know that because the only time we'll usually play 440. The only time we're playing 440 is when I'm writing something on the piano, and then we'll and you're playing the piano tuning then. So for everybody at home there, this it's just going down the first, the first batch of bars and going back up the other one. That's the verse, you know what I mean? So that's about it. Then the pre-chorus is just, just holds you an E. That's the pre-chorus, just a regular old E chord. And then the chorus is just F sharp to a D chord. E, D, F sharp, D, E. Once you get those flat fives in there, but they're octaves. Suicide Messiah. No, actually, I ended up writing this about one of my buddies. Was doing heroin at the time and stuff like that. So you don't want to get mixed up with that stuff. Suicide Messiah. Bow down, you chose your maker. He never gives, he's always a taker. That's what heroin's all about. So that's why you stick with the Flintstone chewables. So, but anyways, the way the song goes, once again. You got once again, it's just the whole thing when we're writing the riffs. I mean, it's just with riffs, it's just like you try and keep them as meat and potato and as simple as possible. So you don't want to start with us. I mean, I love listening to Mahavishnu Orchestra and John McLaughlin. He's one of my favorite guitar players all time. Taught me how to play. So I mean, but for this kind of stuff, I mean, if you want to keep it AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Zepp, I mean, just meat and potato. It's all about a simple riff, you know what I mean? So, but this one, yeah, definitely, definitely Sabbath influence on this one. But it's the whole thing. The song starts off where, once again, we're in the whole step down, but it's the low E is dropped down. So now you got two D strings. All right, guys, so you'll keep them count at home over there. So, so kids, when you're back home, you want to learn how to do a drop D tuning and all that stuff. Here's your E chord. All you do is take the two of them, and at the same time, you want the E to sound like this. Now you got a D tuning. What you want to do on this one, for Suicide Messiah, it starts off with a low E, so you got, the low, it's a D now. You start off on the 3rd fret, and it'll just be, and then, the bass will, then, once again, the guitar. And how I'm getting that sound is, once again, with the rotor vibe, you got the chorus on and everything like that. But you have your rotor vibe set all the way, and you're on the green button on the rotor vibe, because you also have a chorus and you have the rotor vibe, or the tremolo. So I always have it on the green setting. So, and it's, the further down the pedal goes, the more tremolo you're gonna get. So. Then when it kicks in, though, the last one. So all that is once again, it's real simple. And what you're just pedaling off of that D. And you got your F over here. What usually you would be playing here. It's now here. That's your verse. Then the pre-chorus is an F. Then to the chorus. Suicide Messiah. That's all it is. Then it goes straight back to, once again, the verse. That's all you got. That's Suicide Messiah.